babes, and welcome back to my channel. For today's look, I am going to be doing a natural makeup look that you see me wearing right here. Yesterday I did post a picture to my Facebook page asking about if you guys would like to see me do a natural makeup look next, and I had a ton of hits on it. I do feel like a more natural makeup look is very popular right now because we are human. We are so busy in our day, and not everybody's gonna wake up early enough 2 hours before they get ready like I do to glam it up every single day. But that's just my life. That's just what I do, and that's how I live. Don't judge me. But realistically, not everybody's gonna do that. A lot of people who don't like wearing a whole lot of makeup, this would be perfect for you. This would be perfect if you want to, as I say, not look so dead. I got a lipstick on my teeth. That's a little bit embarrassing. And if you still just kind of want to compliment your eyes and have them stand out a little bit more, or if you don't have a whole lot of time to do your makeup, then this would also be a great go-to look as well. And I do apologize. I have been battling like a little bit of sickness the past few days. I've had a sore throat, so I'm not really as peppy, and I'm not really like feeling myself here recently, but I did want to go ahead and film this video for you guys. So if you'll just bear with me through the video, I just wanted to apologize to you guys in advance, and hopefully I will get over this soon and be back to my normal peppy self. If you guys want to see how I achieve this look today, then just keep watching. I am going to go in and prime my face, and so for my primer today, I am going to go in with the Benefit Porefessional Face Primer. Once again, whenever you go in and prime your face, you do want to make sure that you do have clean fingers. Oh, my face is so red. Alrighty, so now that we have our face primed, we are going to start with our foundation. And today I am going to go back in with my Born This Way by Too Faced foundation. This is the shade Light Beige. And I am pretty pastier than this, so I do think I need to go find a different shade. And I'm going to go in with my Sephora brush, Pro Dome Stippling Diffuser, number 41. I literally never get sick, and when I do, it's like the world must be ending, because it's just, it never happens for me. And when I do get sick, I seriously am the biggest baby in the world. I just want to be pampered so bad, and it just sucks. You guys like my mullet today? I'm feeling real cute today. I hate when my hair is pulled back out of my face because it's like, and I just feel like a fish. I don't know. I just hate it. But I had no choice because I had to rush out the door this morning with a wet head. So I just braided it back to let it dry, because once I take it out of the braid after it is dry, it is just so crinkly and pretty. Good. We are next going to go in with our powder and set that. And I am going to go back in with my Airspun translucent powder. Now for my powder, I am going to take my IT Cosmetics brush. And this is the Unstoppable powder. It's the C7064. Nose always itches all the time, and it looks like from a distance that I'm picking my nose, but I promise I'm not. It always itches. A little embarrassing. Okay, so now that we have our foundation set with our powder, next we're going to go in with our bronzer, and I am going to go back in with my Faced Chocolate Soleil bronzer. I just noticed all this fallout on my t-shirt from my powder. Whoops. Now for my bronzer, I am going to go in with the Morphe R2 brush to apply. Start off with the forehead. Now, if you are wanting to go with a more natural look, which is the look that we are going for today, you can apply your bronzer very lightly and not go in so heavy-handed at first, because that way it looks like your skin is just a little sun-kissed and just naturally bronzed in those areas. And if you do go in just a little heavy-handed, you can always just sit there, you know, for a good 10 minutes and blend it out and let your arm fall off if you want to, but hey, that's totally up to you. You do your bronzer, you can go like in back and forth motions like this, and then if you want to blend it out just a little bit more, make it a little bit more seamless and airbrush, you can just take your brush and go in circles. Now this can get a little sloppy doing this technique, but it's okay. You can always go back and clean it up. It's totally fine. Do not stress over it. It says a lot coming from me because I literally stress over everything all the time. Oh, I'm getting a cramp in my arm. Let's try to do this left-handed. Ooh, looking like straight up hot mess, I tell you what. My left hand is so useless. I don't even know why I try with it. Just so I don't get a muscle spasm in my hand, I'm going to move on. So after we got our blush applied, if you do want to go back and clean it up, you can take a beauty blender and just take that powder that you use to set your face. Just get a little bit on the ends like this. And you can carve it out just like that. And doing this technique will also help bake. And I am just going to take my It Cosmetics brush and clean it up. Now we can go in with our blush. I am going to go back in with my Morphe 8C Cool Pro palette. And for my blush brush, I am just going in with that Cala bamboo brush. Now, I think I am going to go in with the color It Girl from this palette for my blush today. Ooh. And then to do this, I am going to just kind of go along with that bronzer so I can get it mixed in here. And when I do put this on the apples of my cheeks, I do just kind of feather it on there when I smile. And sometimes I usually do go a little bit heavier handed on the blush, but it's okay, and you can do whatever you want and make it as dramatic as you want or as basic as you want. Alrighty, so now after we have our blush, bronzer, foundation, powder, I totally just reversed that order, but you get what I'm saying. So now I can go in and do my brows. For my brows, I am going to go back in with my Naked palette and just buff on those caterpillars. So now that we have our eyebrows on, now we can go in and do our eyes. So I do always start off my eye looks with eyeshadow primer. Well, so I'm pretty sure I threw away that e.l.f. eyeshadow primer. So what I'm going to do is, like I advised in my last video, you can also use a concealer and set it with powder instead of actually using an eyeshadow primer. So that's what I have to do today. So I do have the Naked Skin, or the Urban Decay Naked Concealer. Then I'm just going to take my beauty sponge and blend that out all over the lid. If you do go in with a concealer, you do need to set it with powder. So to start off this eye look, I am going to go in with my transition color. And for my transition color, I am going to take Peach Smoothie by Makeup Geek. And as you can see, I am pretty fond of this eyeshadow. To go in with that transition color, I'm going to use the Morphe M535 to blend this out. So whenever you guys are wanting to do a natural-esque, which when you have makeup on, there's seriously nothing natural about it, but I would recommend going in as a transition color, as a shade that is... So I would recommend going in with a shade that is very close to your actual skin color. That way, whenever you are adding color to it and you are blending it out. I am so sorry about my voice. I feel like it is so raspy because I have been struggling so hard with a sore throat the past 3 days. But I think it is getting better, and I think I can see the light at the end of the tunnel for it, so I apologize. But whenever you go in with your transition color, that way it does not make your eyes very super dark whenever it is going from the lid and the crease up into the brow bone. So the reason why I chose the Peach Smoothie by Makeup Geek, it is because it is very similar to my eyes. I don't know if you guys can really see that on camera, but I went very lightly. And also going in with a natural haired brush and going ever so lightly, not one that is so dense, which is why I chose the M535, because it's not very dense, it is very light, and it is a natural hair brush. So whenever you do that, it does let you feather on the color, and also if you place your fingers down at the bottom, it will let you blend it out nice and smooth and not go on so harsh. I am going to be using the Morphe 35R palette for this look today. I absolutely love this palette. So next, I am going to go in with this shade right here. I do apologize. I don't know what it's called. I don't think that there was a list of names whenever I had bought this palette. This was the only thing that came to cover up the shadows, and I still keep it on there. So I don't know what it's called, but it is the Shade Date. Oh my God! The third shade on this column right here. So it's just going to be this one right here. Now this one is slightly more of a pink shade, so I do have a cooler undertone in my skin. So that's why me going in with this pink would actually work out for me, because it is on the cooler side of it. As you can see, it's like a brownish pink, kind of. Taupey, maybe? Anyways. So for this one, I am going to take, for this shade, my Morphe M441. Now this one is a little bit denser, so it is going to add just a little bit more color than the M535. That's not it. So you can see the difference. And this one is also thicker, but it's denser, where this one is light. And I do swirl it in there, and as you can see, now you can see, there's really not a whole lot of color that came on this brush. So that is also going to be really good to swirl in there, tap off the excess, especially when going for the natural look, because it will go on light and not go on very dark, which will not at all give you any kind of natural look to the eye look. And I do just kind of go in windshield wiper motions on my crease. The reason that I go in with a slightly darker shade is because if you look, like this one, I don't have any product on my crease. But do you see how my crease is slightly naturally darker? And I always notice this about people whenever I look at them and they don't have makeup on. And I don't know if it's just me because I love makeup and I have an eye for it, or if I'm just a weirdo. But I do always notice that the crease is always slightly naturally darker than your lid. So that's why I do go in with a slightly darker shade to apply. Now, if you look at this eye with this shadow versus this eye, there's not that much of a difference, but it is slightly different. Like, you can tell I have eyeshadow on when you look at this eye compared to this eye. But it's also not like, oh my gosh, he's wearing eyeshadow. It's not like that. So, which is good. Now, when I do go in and blend this out just a little bit more, I am going to take the Morphe M504. And this is also a natural hair brush. And I did not say natural hair. No, I did not. I'm sorry, Lord. The natural hair brush. And it is longer. And it also does let you have that light touch as well. So it is also very pretty for blending. And it will also give you like an airbrush look. And it's good to go in and blend your shadows between each color. That way it does blend really well. So that is also going to be very pretty for a natural look. Well, really any eye look, but for natural, it is going to be really key to do it. Okay. So I did just want to clean this up just a little bit, so I'm going to take my blender brush again. Beauty blender, and dip it in my powder again and just kind of go along where my bottom eye, my lower lash is like that, just so it gives the natural pull. The reason why I'm doing this is because I do want to clean up that line as well, but also because if I go in with a little bit darker shades, it will catch any kind of fallout that we have. So I am going to go in with a little bit darker of a shade just to kind of darken this up just a little bit. You don't have to, but I just want to. And I'm going to actually take this shade in the palette right above the one that we just went in with. So it's going to be the second one on this column right here. It's this like darker brownish. I am just going to go back in with the same M441 brush with that. I'm going to go back in and blend and use my M504 brush. So since I do see that a little bit of that has actually absorbed into my skin, I am going to take just a little bit more powder. Okay, so I did take that shade and I did put it just a little bit on the outer corner, like the outer crease right here. And I didn't take that all the way in, but I did blend it out just a little bit. And just because I do want to darken this up just a little bit, you don't have to do this step. You can completely ignore me if you want to, or fast forward this video if you want to, if you do not want to pay attention to this step at all. However, I just personally want to do this step. So what I'm going to do is I am going to take my M443 brush. It is just a little bit more dense than the M441. And I'm going to take this shade right here. in the palette. I'm just going to kind of deepen that up just a little bit. Just pack on the color right there. So I did blend that out just a little bit with the Morphe M505 brush. You can see that I did deepen that up just a little bit. Not much, but it's still very light enough that it is very pretty to the eyes. I'm going to take my Morphe M124 brush. It is just a flat brush. And I'm going to take this, the second sparkle shade right here. It is just a taupey color. I'll place that all over the lid. And when I do place these shades on, I do kind of just carve out the crease just a little bit. And I'm just going to put that all over the lid, and then if you wanted to go back and darken it up just a little bit, you can go back and pack on just a little bit more on the outer corner. So that's what I'm going to do, is I am going to go back in with that shade right there, and I am going to darken this up just a little bit, and I'm going to take that M433 brush again. I'm just going to focus on the outer corner. You do see a little bit of harsh line distinctions between the crease and the transition color that we went in with. Of course, you don't want any kind of harsh line distinctions at all. So you can go back in with that M535 brush that we went in to apply the transition color, and without any extra product on the brush, just diffuse that line. So now for the brow bone, I am going to take this matte white shade here. This matte white shade here in the palette. And I'm going to go in with my Sephora brush. This is the Pro Shadow 14. Now that we have that applied, we can go in and wipe away. So I'm not going to go in with false lashes today, just because this is more of a natural look. So I'm just going to go in with mascara. And I'm going to actually put a base on. It's going to be the L'Oreal Voluminous Base. So while I am kind of letting that dry just a little bit, I do actually want to go put some shadow on the lower lash line. So I'm going to take the M431 brush, and I'm going to start with this shade right here. I believe this was the second shade we went in with. I do want to go in with just a little bit of that shade right there that we used to deepen up the outer crease. And then for mascara, I am going to go in with the Voluminous Lash Paradise by L'Oreal and just apply that to my lashes. So now for lips, you can go in with any shade that you would like to, or you could just go in with the gloss. You can go in with anything, but I think for this look, I do kind of want to make them a little on the nude side. So I'm going to take Stripped by Anastasia Beverly Hills. And once I get that applied, I am going to go over that with the Kylie Cosmetics Gloss So Cute. And if you guys do not have this lip gloss, it is $15, but it smells so good. Like, it just smells so yummy that you could eat it literally out of the tube. I am going to go in and highlight today, and I'm going to go in with the shade Moonstone by Becca Cosmetics. I'm going to take my fan brush. And as I was applying the highlight, I did notice that I completely forgot to contour my nose with bronzer. So I'm going to go do that really quick. So now that I went back and contoured my nose, I'm going to set this look finally with setting spray. And I'm going to go in with the Morphe Prep and Set. I'm so sorry, it's a Morphe Continuous Setting Mist. Okay guys, that does complete this natural makeup look today. I hope you guys did enjoy this video. I did take down my mullet for you guys. However, it looks like my hair is still wet, so probably gonna go fix that up really quick. But I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, please give it a thumbs up. Please comment any products that you are loving and let me know what you guys think about this look. If you have any kind of recommendations or other looks you want to see me do, I'd be happy to do those. Please comment those as well. Don't forget to subscribe, and I'll see you guys next time. Thanks so much.